Welcome back to another episode of Life in the Stands podcast. We have a very special episode for you guys coming up today. We have Jake, Beans, and Zach on the podcast today, and this is going to be our mock draft special. So we're going to go right around the ring, and we're going to start with Bender actually at pick 2, because we all know what pick 1 is going to be. It's going to be Caleb Williams at the Bears at pick 1. So we're going to start with Bender at pick 2, and we're going to go around the circle here, making picks for the first round. So it's going to be really exciting. Remember to like and subscribe on all of the platforms that you're listening on: Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Amazon, all those kinds of things. Really appreciate the support and everyone listening. So without further ado, Bender, let's get into pick number 2. I'll go ahead and list off, obviously, Caleb Williams here. It's going to be drafted number 1 overall to the Bears, like I mentioned. Bender, you're now on the clock at pick number 2 with the Commanders.
Yeah, this is very self-explanatory. I'm going Jaden Daniels out of LSU.
Jaden Daniels at pick 2 for Bender with the
Pretty
Commanders.
shocked.
All right, that puts Beans on the clock.
So at number 3, I think I'm going to go Drake May, Patriots need a quarterback. I'm just worried about the weapons.
Yeah, that's I think it's definitely what a lot of people have projected as the top 3 there. You have 3 QBs, maybe flipped around in a little bit of the order there with 2 and 3, but Jaden Daniels at 2, Drake May at 3. That puts me on the clock at 4, and at 4, I'm going to kind of go with the tide as well, and I'm going to say that the Cardinals get Marvin Harrison Jr. They add a weapon for Kyler in the desert.
Yeah, so I guess that leaves me at number 5 here. I feel like the Chargers got rid of a lot of weapons, and I think they need one with this pick. I'm going Malik Neighbors.
Malik Neighbors goes to play with Justin Herbert. That would be fun to watch, and puts Beans on the clock at number 6.
We are going to go with 3 quarterbacks in a row and then 3 receivers in a row, guys. At number 6, I'm going to go with Rome Odunze. Big body guy, can run all the routes you need him to. Volume receiver. Giants need one to get with Danny Dimes. Let's make it or break it season for him.
Okay, so now we're down at pick 7. And to this point, really no big surprises in the draft. I think we've been pretty clean with our order so far. This is going to be so far at least, this has been a pretty clean mock. At number 7, I'm going to continue that, and I'm going to say the Titans draft Joe Alt. It's the best player on the board, I think, at this point in the draft. I think it fits the need for them at offensive tackle. They need stability there. Joe Alt for the Titans at 7.
Yeah, as
Pocket 8.
the Falcons are coming up here at number 8, I think they need a game changer on defense. I am picking Dallas Turner, edge out of Alabama.
All right. Beans up at 9. The Bears' second first-round pick.
That's a tough one. I would have loved to have paired Dallas Turner with Montez Sweat for the Bears. We're looking at what we got on the board at number 9. All the receivers are gone. Kind of redundant with Cole Kmet being on the roster, so he can't go with tight end from Georgia. So I think I'm going to go with OT number 2 for me. It's going to be sorry, give me one sec. Fashanu.
Olu Fashanu to the Bears. So going to protect
Number
Caleb
1
Williams
tackle.
right away.
He's already got the weapons around him to succeed right away. I think that, I would have loved to get another receiver here, but with the top 3 guys being off the board, going with the wide receiver number 4 at 9 just is a little too rich.
Very nice. Okay, I am going to propose our first trade in this mock draft.
Mm.
It'd be between 2 teams that I actually have. So I'm drafting for both the Jets and the Raiders.
Better, let's veto automatic.
The Jets and the Raiders. I think at this point, Minnesota has not traded up to grab their guy in a QB. So I think Minnesota at 11 wants to take JJ McCarthy. So at 10, if I'm the Jets, I'm going to accept a trade from the Raiders. The Raiders are going to move up from the 13th pick and give possibly a future first to move up those couple of picks, future second potentially, because it is, 3 very important slots that they're moving up.
Well,
and I think that the Raiders trade up and they draft JJ McCarthy at the 10th slot, putting the Jets back at 13th. Is that vetoed or is that allowable?
I would say that that's perfect. I mean, you're paying a QB tax. you're jumping in front of a team who needs and who has expressed, interest in that quarterback. I think this is very reasonable. I think it's actually very realistic if Minnesota decides to stand pat at 11. They're definitely going to have teams like the Broncos, the Raiders, trying to get in front of them. So I like this trade a lot.
Yeah. Bender, any vetoes?
No, that's just messing my thought process up
All
a little
right,
bit.
all right.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So
so
I'm in
the Jets,
scramble mode, boys.
the
All right,
Jets
I
are
like
going
this.
to
I like
trade.
this trade too because you don't need to give them your second first.
this is
Right.
true.
So they trade they trade picks here, and I'll say that this goes for another second. They give up their second round pick, or do you think it goes for a first? I could even
I
see
think
maybe it's like, they get like a fourth rounder of this year and then the second next
The
year.
second, maybe a conditional second.
Yeah, something you can't do a conditional second, but
Yeah,
something
they
like
turn
that.
into a
So
first based
so
on the amount of starts by the rookie
right.
quarterback that they take.
So that'll
Yeah.
be the trade. Oh, trade has been rejected.
It's because you need to
Crazy.
say something about the Jets, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry
So
about it too much.
maybe a late round pick for the Jets. So go 10 and 256 maybe, or 257. Yeah, I guess it's the same thing.
Let's try it out.
And then this is where I was, right?
I think so.
Yeah, try it. Okay, we're just gonna go with
Yeah,
it on
so
our board.
the 10th pick is the Raiders. 10th pick is the Raiders. So the Raiders are going to draft JJ McCarthy.
Okay.
That threw a wrench in my plans just because I had the Chargers trading Herbert for the 11th and a future first. But if the Vikings stay pat at that 11th pick, Vikings secondary has been absolute garbage, and I think they draft Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo corner.
I like that pick still.
I like the pick a lot, actually, especially when he just fits really well into that defense, I think.
Yeah, you know who would love that pick is the defensive coordinator up there in Minnesota,
Mhm.
Flores.
Mm-hmm. B-Flow.
All right, Beats. You're on at 12.
Awesome. I actually love this. All that QB drama right in front of the Broncos leads me to be able to take Bo Nix with the 12th pick. I think that with the Broncos having not a single pick in the second round, they don't have the ability to trade up for a quarterback like this if they do fall. And the way that the weapons have fallen, Brock Bowers is the only other guy that I would really think about here on offense for the Broncos. I just like the way that Bo Nix is going to fit into that offense with Sean Payton. I think that is going to be good news for him.
Wow. Yeah, so at this point we have 1, 2, 3.
5 quarterbacks in the top 12 picks.
Yeah, 5 QBs, top 12 picks. Wow, that's intense. So
And only 2 defensive players in the
Right.
top 13 so
Right.
far, top
Right.
12.
Yeah,
With
okay.
one
But
edge, one
again, this
corner.
could be pretty realistic to how things
Mm.
actually go on draft night. It's a very top-heavy draft in those regards for some of those key positions like QB, offensive tackle. A couple have already been taken. So this is now the Jets pick at number 13. And I think the Jets are now in a situation where they should take the best offensive tackle available, moving back a couple of spots. So I think with them taking the best offensive tackle available, the Jets should draft Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State.
Yeah, Zach just loves messing up my picks today. Okay, I'm gonna throw a little wrench in this. Um, I think we need the best pick here offensively out of the Saints. I kind of want to go Brock Bowers as they don't really have a steady spot here.
Is that
Yeah,
final?
let's
That
go.
feels
Let's go Brock Bowers. I think they need some firepower on offense outside of what they already have. Yeah, let's do it.
all right. Well, with the 15th pick, Beans has unfortunately dropped out. So I think what we'll do is we'll wrap it up here. and we'll come back for a part 2 to finish up the rest of the mock draft. So we're gonna go ahead and stop the screen share right there. That's the first half of the first round there. So we'll get Beans back in and do a part 2 to kind of round out the end of the first half of that draft. It's an interesting one so far. 5 QBs taken in the first 12 picks, which again could happen on draft night. Thanks again for everyone listening on all the different platforms. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll be back with part 2 of the first round mock drafts.